I want to acknowledge also that we are on the traditional territory of Treaty 6, the traditional territory of the Métis Nation, but more importantly, I want to acknowledge that we are on the territory of Michel Nation. How many have heard that before? It's an honor. It's an honor for a lot of reasons to be able to stand up here and talk about this. This is an incredibly historic moment, and I know that you recognize that, but I want everyone to recognize that. And it's an honor to be able to meet people. You know, we meet with the representatives often, but we don't always get to see the people whose work is impacted. And it's very heartwarming. I'm watching a family reunion. I'm watching, I get a front row seat to this. And to have a day like today grounded with the presence of the medals that were handed out at the time of treaty, that is significant. To watch in the back there under the flags to see the treaty pay being made. Yesterday I watched the first one. And you only get one first time. And that is significant. That is historic. We know that. We, Canada, we know this. And I can't wait to see the next one, and the next one, and the next one, and the next one. We, as a department, we get to do this a lot. The team at the back spend most of their summers going into communities all over the place and get to witness the impact of the event and what it means to communities. It means different things to many communities, but they get to see that, and so it's a heartwarming thing to see here yesterday and today. So I want to congratulate MCNS and all of you for making this happen. And I want to welcome all the Michel descendants here. And I acknowledge that you are but a fraction of the ones that are out there. And the MCNS, I know, is aware of a lot that are out there, but we don't know all of them. And so in the coming weeks and months, efforts will be made to reach out to make sure that people have an opportunity to make contact and learn what's going on, how these talks are progressing. What are we talking about? These 2 days were dedicated for this treaty day. It was intended to be an opportunity to bring people in to have this experience as a symbol of the progress that we are making, as a symbol of the recognition that Michel has earned and deserves. Earned. This group here has, painfully dedicated their life from the side of their desk as volunteers to advance the interests of the Michel people. And it's hard. They don't agree all the time. They don't agree with us often. I think that we've forged a good relationship with them in this work, but don't be fooled to think that we don't cover difficult things, uncomfortable issues. We face it, but the relationship has been strong enough that we can face it together, and I'm honored to be a part of that conversation, and I'm honored in the trust that they have placed in me and my team to advance these discussions. MCNS is one side of the conversation. The others, I want to ask my team to stand up. Sheldon, Tamara, Evan, Calvin, Marion, Cole. Karen's part of our team. They're here on the weekend. They're here. They work at night. this type of work, this band creation work, it's not something we do, thank you, that's not something we do on a regular basis, you know. And they've dedicated so much of their time and energy into this process, but more importantly, they're passionate about it. And so I'm honored to work with them as well. It's a special day to be standing here as a representative of Canada. We are committed to upholding the important place that treaty annuities holds for Indigenous people and honoring these historic obligations. It's a sign of reconciliation. It demonstrates the significance of the relationship between Canada and Indigenous people. Indigenous Services Canada would like to congratulate the members of the Michelle Calahoo Nation Society for entering into the protocol that represents the unification of the Friends of Michelle, the descendants of Michelle First Nation Association, the Michelle Unity Group, Michelle Band United for Justice, and the Michelle Corporation. Did I get it wrong? Okay. Now, we know it's a historic day, and I want to clear something up right away. Like any nation, there's rumors. Any kind of an engagement between government and nations, there's rumors. And it's important to separate fact from fiction. And you'll hear occasionally comments that disparage this process because Canada's trying to put Michelle into a modern day treaty. That is absolute nonsense. That is not what is happening here today. The very fact that you're here to collect treaty pay is an acknowledgement of that treaty. We are here today to solidify this process that allows your place a return into that fold. We are not negotiating a modern day treaty. We are not negotiating a comprehensive claim. We are not negotiating self-government. We are exploring how to bring the Michelle Nation back as a band. That's it. There are no facts, policy, law that support this idea that there's a conversation around the modern treaty taking place, and I defy anyone to actually tell me what that means, right? That's not what's happening here. You deserve to go back, and that's what's happening. Does everyone agree with that? Yeah. So, I will mention a few times about this group of representatives from the Michelle Calahoo Nation Society, because it's through that work that they are why we are here. In 2017, there were 4 groups purporting to represent the Michelle descendants. They came forward. There was an effort to work together with the Department of Crown and Indigenous Relations with the goal of creating a rights and recognition table. That did not happen. Those conversations could not get anywhere because of the poor relationship between the groups. Exploratory discussions were held. The conversation didn't go far because that department, Crown and Indigenous Relations, had difficulty understanding who was who are the right holders. It was too complicated. Efforts were made to bring in a mediator to work with the groups, but unfortunately the mediation was not successful. But more importantly, the one thing that they did agree on was to become a band. And that process, which you'll hear a lot about, Section 17 under the Indian Act, is under the purview of the Department of Indigenous Services Canada, not CERNAC. While those conversations were starting and stopping, there was a letter writing campaign that took place. I never met any of these people before, but I sure got to know some of them because, well, sorry, Dale. Dale and I were actually next door neighbors as children. Her brother used to beat me up. Some of you might wish he would have finished the job.